Spiders, sharks, heights, and algebra. Now these are some of the biggest known fears to mankind today. Now I get the first three, you wouldn't see me go near them with a 10-foot pole. But algebra, I don't get. Why are people so scared of algebra? I don't know. Now I believe that a big part of this is a result of what we see in the cinema. I mean, we've all seen the movies where numbers and letters just get spat out at you from any random direction. And where scrawlings of symbols upon symbols cover numerous blackboards, leaving the viewer to think, how could we ever understand what's going on there? And we have all seen this kind of thing where the main character cannot make sense of his algebra homework in the lead up to a test, which he's probably going to fail anyway. Oh yeah, and let's not forget that crabby old maths teacher who always seems to be making algebra seem like a living nightmare as well. Algebra, turning smiles into frowns in cinemas near you. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I do blame Hollywood somewhat for the way in which algebra has been portrayed in the past. But this is where I come in, because you see, my aim throughout this topic is to get you to see algebra in the same light that I see it in. That is, that it's something beautiful, something helpful, and something that you're going to want to use in the future. Speaking of the future, did you know that one of the reasons we actually use algebra is to predict the future? And that's no joke. Now guys, I don't mean predicting the future as in knowing what kind of car you're going to drive, or girls, even which One Direction singer you're going to marry. No, I mean we can use algebra to assist us with describing patterns. And we can then use this to skip a whole lot of painstaking working out and find our answer without having to do all of the work. Now many of you are probably wondering how algebra can help you to predict the future. Well, the truth is you have probably already used algebra without even knowing. Let's just take this Mars bar for example. It costs a nice round sum of $2 for this tasty treat. But what if I wanted 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, or even 10 Mars bars? How much would it cost then? Well, I challenge you to press pause and figure it out. Now many of you have probably jumped on the idea that the total cost will be equal to 2 times the number of Mars bars. Or as you can see by this diagram here, the cost is equal to 2 times the number of Mars bars, where I've swapped the cost for a dollar symbol and the number of Mars bars for a picture of a Mars bar. Now this is algebra, inserting letters or symbols or pictures to represent something that can change. In this case, the number of Mars bars as shown by the picture of the Mars bar, and the total cost as shown by the dollar sign. Now as you can see in the case where we have 10 Mars bars, what you would do is 2 times 10, which of course is equal to $20. Whereas if we had 5 Mars bars, you would do 2 times 5, swapping the Mars bar over for the number 5, and of course that will give you $10. And if you wanted to purchase 3,000 Mars bars, of course what you would do is 2 times 3,000, swapping over the Mars bar for the number 3,000, and this would give you an answer of $6,000. And this is what I mean by we can use algebra to help us predict the future, because we no longer need to go through and do $2 plus $2 plus $2 plus $2 3,000 times. Once we have an actual rule, what we can do is just substitute into that rule and come out with an answer, saving us a whole lot of time. So hopefully now you can see that algebra is all about using letters or symbols to represent something that can change. In this case being the cost and the number of Mars bars that we choose to purchase. So, algebra is not about trying to scare you, but it is all about recognizing patterns and saving you time in the long run. So I guess at the end of the day, spiders, sharks, heights, they're all still scary bad things. But algebra, it's your mate.